What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today is the day Roller Treatment Fighter has finally arrived, and I was really excited. Heavy on was. I'm gonna get into it, but if you guys don't know, I'll be covering this whole season of Street Fighter, so make sure you subscribe to keep track of any updates regarding the season. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first, I'm going to start off with an overall rating of this episode. So for the premiere episode, I give it honestly like a 4 out of 10. Honestly, when I first watched the premiere live, I gave it like a 6 out of 10 because I just wanted it to be so good. But honestly, this was the worst Street Fighter premiere of all time. A lot of people were saying this. I thought that only I was like thinking that way, but other people feel the same way. And I just feel like it just didn't have like the charm that it usually, like the first episode usually has. So, but without that, like, let's get into dissecting the episode and I'll give my thoughts in between. So, first things first, the episode starts off with them announcing like what the winning crew will win, which is just a monetary award, and then they'll win like some jewelry. And then after that, they start to introduce the crews, and each crew was introduced and basically gave like an introduction of each crew, basically like what their genre of dance is and what to expect and what we should be able to see from them as a group. And then we got into our predicted ranks. So these are the predicted ranks. We have RH Tokyo first, Ojo Gang, AG Squad, Bums Up, Motive, and Royal Family. And pretty much from like the reactions of the crews, Ojo Gang was honestly really satisfied up until it was revealed that Tokyo was first place, and they were like, "Oh no!" And then Bummed Up was like kind of gagged. They were like, "Oh, y'all being nice now, like why are we fourth?" And I was like, that was funny. And of course, Royal Family was like sad that they were sixth place. And my thoughts on these rankings is that, like, honestly, prior to any missions, I kind of understand this ranking because Ojo Gang is really strong in battles, and Arch Tokyo, I feel like they are able to hold their own when it comes to like doing choreography and battling. And honestly, Bums Up is pretty lucky to not get six right here because honestly, I would have popped them right down in six. But yeah, I feel like this is not a bad ranking. Honestly, my preseason ranking, I think that it's honestly going to be a fight between AG Squad and Arch Tokyo. But overall, I don't think that this is like a bogus ranking. And then next we have Motive. They enter the fight zone and then they get their feedback from other crews. Basically, from the gist of it, it just was like no one knew anyone except Marley and Logan, and that really was it. And then Bums Up comes out second, and basically they were saying that Honey J isn't a real hip hop dancer, and that Aki is basically a TikTok dancer that brought her followers, and they really wasn't saying too much about Bums Up. And the third crew to enter is Royal Family, and basically everyone's saying that no one knew of the new generation, and all the crews called out them to be the weakest crew. And then next, Ojo Gang enters. Kyoka and Ibuki receives respect from each crew. The only negative thing that was said was that they think that Arch Tokyo is a stronger team because Ojo Gang was formed just as a project group for the show. And then AG Squad comes out next. And the only thing that people were saying in the feedback was just that they think of them as like the true Royal Family, and that really was it. Arch Tokyo was the last group to enter, and in the feedback, the only thing that was said was that they have no battle experience and that they think that Rihata is like the main character in the group. And then the MC comes out, and there was nothing much to his introduction. But what had me like joked out was that Kaya said, "Oh, that's Ruthie's type," and then Ruthie was like, "Yeah, he's my type." And then we get Bums Up No Respect status, which they only showed Bums Up, but they received 12 stickers in total, and Aki kind of got attacked here. Like, she has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stickers, which is crazy work to me. And then the judges come out, and when they come out, we get news that the No Respect mission will be split into 2 different portions. First, we have the 1 versus 1, and then we have the group battles afterwards. And then the judges gave out their critique. JYP said that he's looking for technique and creativity. Mike Song said he's going to give it to Who Wants It More, and then Leah said that she is going to give it to someone who gets her out of her seat. And honestly, what I took from this is that they aren't going to do any duo battles, which duos is like my favorite type of battle during the No Respect mission. So this was a big L for me. I was in tears. And with that, we get into our first battle. And our first battle is Marley versus Honey J. And this was a pretty decent battle. I'm glad that this was the first battle because they both have some battle experience. So it kind of set the tone. But from Honey J's part, I feel like she did pretty well. She definitely stood on her own. Marley did pretty good as well. But what irritated me was that Honey J was like hunting her down. Like, she was like white on rice with Marley. And I kind of was irritated because Marley gave her all the space in the world to dance. But Marley ended up poking fun at it on her Instagram. She posted this, which I found hilarious. And then her crew back at home, they made a TikTok about it. But with that, Marley ended up winning 3-0. And then JYP called Honey J stiff, which kind of took me out because I was like, who are you calling stiff? But then we get into our next battle. Next, we get Aaliyah versus Aki, and this battle was honestly okay. It was more of a meme than anything for me. Clearly, Aaliyah did better than Aki, and it gave Aki the most TikTok song ever, I feel like. So they kind of put her at a disadvantage, but as we know, she's known for her witty choreography. But with this battle, Aaliyah ended up beating her 3-0. And with that, our next battle is Kyoka versus Rihanna. I feel like this was a pretty good battle. I do feel like Kyoka did a little bit better than Rihanna. I feel like the judges gave it to who had more fun, so Rihanna ended up winning in the end. And that sparked a lot of debate online, but I don't really have much to say. And then we get Royal Family's no respect status. It looks like every single person got a no respect sticker. And then we get Tisha versus Kaya, which I feel like this was a pretty even battle. The DJ gave them like similar types of music. And I really do feel like Tisha won this. So, yeah. The judges gave this in favor of Tisha 2-1. After Tisha won that battle, they gave us like a little montage of Royal Family winning battles. So we got a sneak peek of Moana versus Ruthie, Harmony versus Hyojin, and Kylie versus Khalees. And they released these unreleased battles on the Choom YouTube channel. And I am so sad for my girl Khalees. Khalees, what happened? It was the sweatpants. I was like, get up. Because she was winning up until she fell. But Khalees, I'm with you. Because, like, she literally would have beaten Kylie. And then next we get Gabby versus Danica. And Gabby just won at like the showdown of heels, which I'm like, girl, how long has it been since you danced in heels? She said like in high school, like, was that like 15 years ago? But we get this battle, and then I feel like we could have picked a winner from that initial matchup, but they wanted a rematch for whatever reason, and then Gabby ended up taking it, I guess just from an entertainment standpoint. And this sparked a lot of debate with the judges, especially with Aaliyah being a heel dancer. Everyone was like, what's up with you, girl? But yeah, like, I honestly am like irritated as well because honestly this show is losing its credibility more and more as more seasons come out, because I just feel like if they don't get on top of these judges, like, we need more qualified judges so they can honestly scrape this show. Because like, if dancers can't get like correct feedback and critique, like, they might as well go to China or America and compete on those shows, because they actually have people who have battled and have the right credentials to judge people, because some of the judges' criteria was kind of weird. And then we get Lip J versus Ibuki, and I feel like this was a great battle, probably the best battle there was. I honestly do feel like this didn't need a rematch at all. I feel like they could have picked a winner from the initial matchup. But then, honestly, how I felt was that I feel like Lip J won it before the rematch, but then once they took the rematch, I feel like Ibuki won. So it just kind of was up in the air for me, so I didn't really care too much about this result. After this, they go back to their hideouts to prepare for the group battle, and then Oja Gang ends up calling out Arch Tokyo once again. And then we get a sneak peek into next week, which is going to be with the class mission. It looks like they're going to do a duo, a group of 4 and leaders. I don't know how I feel about this group of 4, though. Like, that is so weird to me. And then we see Vanessa mess up, and then it seemed like Honey J ends up winning the leader. Like, I think her choreography ends up getting picked. Because Kaya said something about, like, Honey J's choreography was like extremely easy, but we shall see. Honestly, this premiere episode was kind of like not it for me. Honestly, after I finished watching the episode, I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait till next week. Like, I wasn't like eager for the next episode, which is weird. Because, I mean, I've been waiting for this for 2 months and it just didn't give. But I'm guessing next week we're going to get those group battles and hopefully we get some more of the no respect battles as well. So I'm guessing they're going to drop the unreleased one-on-one battles next week as well. Hopefully immediately after the episode. And yeah, to me, the MVP of this episode was Kyoka. She was extremely funny to me. I feel like she just was like calling everybody out. And she just was like ready to battle. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. I'll see you guys next week. And leave your thoughts on this episode down below. And let me know if you agree with some of these calls that the judges were giving.